Hi, this is Dan Lexi from Dan Schultz Outdoors, reminding you to keep the adventures alive. Hey y'all, I'm Johnny.
And I'm Colleen. And we're the Keel Quest. And we want you to keep the adventures alive. Cheers!
Hey, this is Darren from Ride Paddle Repeat, encouraging you to keep the adventures alive.
This is David from Beachley Ironworks saying keep the adventures alive.
Hey, Kevin with an A here. Keep the adventure alive.
Hi, I'm Dan Mayotte. Keep the adventures alive.
Hi, I'm Kevin Collin, the Happy Camper. Remember, keep the adventures alive. Awesome!
Woo, buddy! Shug here! Keep the adventures alive. I am.
Ethan here, the Avid Outdoorsy guy, reminding you to keep the adventures alive.
We're John and Aaron.
Keep the adventures alive.
Hey everyone, it's Kylan from Lure of the North, and I encourage you to keep the adventures alive.
This is Sky North telling you, keep the adventures alive. And now on with the show.
Hey, well, happy Tuesday evening, everybody. This is Dennis from Canoe Hound Adventures, and you're watching another episode of Canoe Hound's Outdoor Adventure Show, a show that brings you a lot closer to the great outdoors. I'm your host, as I mentioned, Dennis, also known as Canoe Hound, and if this is your first time joining into one of our live streams, welcome. Welcome, and thank you very much for spending some time with us here on a Tuesday evening. Just to let you know, we are live here every Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Yeah, Eastern Daylight Time. Yeah, we're past the standard time now, right? So that's a good thing. Mark your calendars. Come and join us every Tuesday night. It's always a good time. You may see a bit of flickering on my end here. Once again, my internet gremlins are back, and they are wreaking havoc on Here I am. I'm back. Sorry about that, everybody. Once again, the electrical gremlins seem to be back here and haunting my my studio and the show here. So I apologize if I do cut out like I just did. But I've instructed my guests tonight that if I do this magic disappearing act, that please do carry on with the conversation, and I will pop back in best I can. Hopefully everybody can hear me all right and see me okay. But I know my guest has a better connection than I do. Just really quick, want to go over a few things while people are populating in the chat over here. Let everybody know a bit of news and updates with the channel, what's going on. I hope everybody had the opportunity to watch last week. We had a great show with Kevin Callan, Zach Fittis from Frontenac Outfitters, and John Van Berger. We had a great discussion about is your gear ready for the spring paddling season or hiking season or backcountry camping season? You want to make sure that you have everything on the mend and everything on the go and ready to go for the season, so that you're not stuck out there in the backcountry, with broken gear or an air mattress that will not support your back or something like that. So by all means, go through your gear, get it all checked out, and if you missed last week's episode, it's available for replay. Anytime, just go to Canoe Hound Season 2, and you will find the show listing there. Just want to congratulate Vicky Beam, who was last week's swag winner. She won some sweet gear from Frontenac Outfitters, as well as a Canoe Hounds Adventures prize pack, and a little bit of swag from Algonquin Outfitters as well. Really quick, have you checked out Canoe Hound Adventures, the new website? We have our website up and going. Things are going quite well there, continually doing updates. We got a great blog section on there to keep you up to date as to what's going on with the show. So check that out. It's at canoehoundadventures.com or .ca. They'll both get you there, and we'll try and keep on improving with that. Just working on a web store right now there, so that you might be able to pick up some cool swag in the future, should you ever want to. We have some really cool things. And speaking of cool swag, right now we do have, and I mentioned this last week, we've got our Canoe Hound Adventures hats for sale now. They're great looking hats. They are very good quality. They have a Velcro closure on the back. And the prices that you see there include shipping in Canada. If you are a U.S. resident, it might be a couple of dollars more for shipping, just because of the whole courier type of thing. But the camo hats are $40 just because they actually cost me more to produce. And the colors are available for $35. And if you're interested in something like that, drop me an email at canoehound@gmail.com, and we will get you all hooked up. Yes. Also, consider becoming a channel member. You look below. If you're on YouTube, you'll see a join button down there. Check that out. You might be interested in taking advantage of some great perks that the channel has to offer. Member-only live streams, cool emojis that you could use in the chat over there, little camping signs and stuff. Maybe a couple members, go ahead, put a few of those cool emojis in there and show everybody what they can get. And a few other things. There's swag available and stuff like that by being a member. So if you're interested, hit that join button, and you can do that at any time, right? That's a good thing. Just want a quick shout out to my channel sponsors or supporters. We've, as usual, got our Backcountry Coffee Company. They make a great cup of coffee. Thanks to Kyle over there at Backcountry Coffee Company. We're going to use Backcountry an awful lot tonight. We also got our friends over at Kid Products, makers of the Kid Twig Stove. Great signs and graphics. We've got Algonquin Outfitters, Ursac USA, and the Short Hills Beard Company. Looking good. Looking good. Thank you. Last week, we already touched on that one there. What do we got? Oh, wow. We're almost done. I see you got the chat is about where we need it to be for tonight. That's great. Once again, if you have any hot topics or people that you would like to see on the show, drop me an email at canoehound@gmail.com. I guess I should be posting that so everybody can see that. canoehound@gmail.com. And come on, add to the show. This computer's giving me fits. Anyways, so drop me an email at canoehound@gmail.com. By all means, I will do my best to make it happen. Drop an email at canoehound@gmail.com. We'll make it happen. You know what? Before I get too deep into this here and everything keeps going awry for me and I keep disappearing off screen, let's just get into tonight's topic, because I don't want you all to miss this. This is a great topic, something that a lot of us have been thinking needed to be done and needs to be available out there for anybody that may be a newbie and considering backcountry camping. So tonight we're joined by a popular YouTuber and outdoors woman who's had countless solo canoe trips and kayak trips under her belt. As a 4-season camper, she's experienced all that the backcountry has to offer. With her love and experience and knowledge of the backcountry, and knowing that many new backcountry campers have a need to learn more about the art of backcountry camping, she's introduced an online course called Backcountry Camping for Beginners. Welcome to the show, Christina, Camper Christina. How you doing?
Hi.
Oh my goodness. Worst intro to a show ever.
It wasn't that bad. You blipped out actually before you talked about me, so it was kind of good.
Yeah. So how you doing, Christina?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. I know you've been quite busy of late. Haven't seen too much of you online, but you've been a busy girl.
I have been a busy girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been working hard.
So tell us a little bit about what you've been doing over the winter season.
It all started in October, way back when. I went on a program or an app called Udemy. I was looking to improve my YouTube channel and to, figure out the algorithm and find out how to get more followers and Twitter and social media and all that kind of stuff. I know you're like, wait, what? But that's how it started. I went on and I took a bunch of courses. And as I was taking these courses, I was thinking, this is a really cool platform. I think that I would like to teach something on here. And so the wheels started spinning at that time. My last camping trip actually was in November. And I started filming clips already for the course in November. I got the idea. I had wanted to write a book for quite some time. I started it. I got in 4 chapters. I wasn't digging it. And this just seemed like just a right fit for right now. There's so many people going into the backcountry. They don't have experience. They don't have any training. They don't know what to do. They're leaving garbage. They're cutting down live trees. They're, it's not everybody, obviously, but people just don't know what to do. And there's nowhere to learn, a lot of the courses, there's great courses out there where you can go for 3 or 4 days. A lot of outfitters have them, Kate Ming Sung has her Quiet Adventures, Quiet Guiding Company. You can go out with people and learn. But again, because of COVID, and I don't want to say that too much because I want to flag you, but people were having, a hard time learning as well. So I thought, why not put everything in one spot online in a course where someone can go, not pay a huge amount of money. It's super cheap right now. I've got an introductory offer of like $59.99. There's 112 videos, 20 quizzes. There's printable resources. There's a packing list at the end. Every section has a packing list for it. And then at the end, there's a final with all of them combined. And I just tried to put everything and anything from start to finish that I could think of how to go about going on a backcountry trip, how to pick a site, the different ways that sites can be reserved, everything and anything. And I started filming and putting it together. And, you're having these internet issues, and you can imagine filming and uploading 112 videos, how time consuming just that is. But I also wrote the entire course myself. So I just kind of got on Word and I just started writing. Okay, how do you plan a trip? And I wrote it all out. So in some of the video lectures, actually, it looks like I'm reading. I'm not reading a book. I'm reading from my own notes that I've created to kind of, keep me on track and from wandering around and saying, things out of topic. So. Wow.
So when did the planning for this actually start then?
In October, pretty much, when I got the idea, when I started taking the courses on Udemy, I kind of got that spark, and then I thought more and more about it, and I said, yeah, this is a good idea. I didn't think it was going to end up being that big. It kind of grew into this monster. But I've been backcountry camping for almost 20 years now, and you don't realize, when you've been doing it that long, how many things there are to really learn and that people don't know. And as I started, it just kind of grew and grew and grew. And I wanted it to be complete. When I first started backcountry camping in 2002, I went to the library. I came home and I had a stack of books like this and, videos and stuff. And I read and learned as much as I could, but there isn't really a place to just get it all in one spot. So that was my main goal, to kind of do that and help to educate people so that, people like me and you can go out in the backcountry and not find all these crazy things going on. Are you still there? Are you frozen? Okay, I'll keep talking. So the course, oh, you're back? The course has 22 sections in it, and each section covers a topic, and then there's mini videos in each section. So they're like anywhere between 30 seconds and 5 minutes, depending on it. And they all have little videos, so it's all broken down. So for example, there's shelter, and there's a video on tents, there's a video on tarps. I'm getting distracted here. Sorry. There's a video on tents, there's a video on tarps, sleep system, there's a video on sleeping bags, there's a video on sleeping mats, there's a video on how to stay warm. And then I also have what I'm calling alternative lessons. So I've also filmed a lot of these things outdoors while I was out camping or out in the forest behind my house. And so I do the whole section just by sitting outside and kind of holding up the different products and talking about them that way, because some people learn differently than others. So I thought that would be a good idea as well to include that. And I've actually had some feedback on that as well. So it's been, I think, for the couple of people that have commented so far.
Very cool. So with this whole with the course, like who's it basically geared to? I know it's geared towards backcountry campers or people that want to be backcountry campers or may have never done the course before in their lives, or not the course, but have been backcountry camping. How, is it also related towards people that might have experience? Because even myself, I'm a versed backcountry camper that, could probably stand to learn something from some of your advice, right?
I have totally geared the course to new people, backcountry camping for beginners. Now, in saying that, I have two people. One has completed the course, Brian, who I think we'll be talking to later.
Yep.
And he said he's learned quite a few things. I have a lot of tips and tricks in there and just like little tidbits of things that I've learned. So not only am I talking about like gear and, make sure your tent doesn't leak and blah, 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 but also like I've added stuff like, when I make a fire and it's raining, bring some foil and cover the grate with some foil. And that way you won't drown your fire out with the rain and you can still, stay warm and sit by the fire. Like little things that I've learned along the way. They're not all my ideas. Some of them are things that I've learned in courses or from other people. And I just shared as much as I possibly could. So I think that new people would get the most out of the course. But I think, like you said, everybody can learn something. I'm not trying to be, super superior instructor person or something. I've been backcountry camping for 19 years. There are people out there who have been doing it way longer than me and know a lot more than I do. But I just wanted to share what I know and hope that it helps somebody when they go out on a trip to know what to do.
Yeah, and this is actually like a great opportunity because you've been doing this for I think you said at one time 30 years almost?
19
years? Okay. So you have a lot of experience, and being a solo tripper, you have nobody to rely on but yourself while you're out there, right? So through all this experience, this is
Dennis is gone again. So through all this experience, what do you guys think he was going to say? Well, through the experiences that I've been through, I've learned quite a lot. And as I mentioned, it's not just stuff that I've learned on my own, but stuff I've learned through taking courses. About 5 years ago, when I decided to start solo camping, that is when I started taking a lot of courses. I have a lot of kayaking courses. I have my basic instructor. I have my canoe 1 to 4. I've taken wilderness first aid and map and compass courses. And through all of those things, I've just kind of picked up little tidbits here and there. And learn from different instructors.
That experiences I've ever had during the whole history of my show, and I've had some doozy nights.
I'm still talking.
I am so sorry, Christina. This is like
okay.
technical issues that are even beyond my control. This is perhaps the worst internet I've ever had in the entirety of this entire show. So it's like, oh my goodness. So the question I was going with is you're sharing experiences that through your own experiences, right? So this is all stuff that you've learned over the years, and stuff that could really aid and benefit people that are new to this type of thing, right?
I believe so. I hope so. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the best way for us to get the word out? Because there may be a lot of people that are new to backcountry camping and they don't exactly know to go and find this course online, right? Even though, they may look around and stuff, but they might not be able to. What's the best thing that we can do to actually get this word out so people know about it?
Just share it with people that that are looking to learn. It's been a little bit of a challenge for me because the people that follow my pages and stuff, they're not really new campers, right? Like I'm a solo tripper mostly, and I do crazy trips, and new campers are not, I wouldn't say not, but most of my followers, I think, are people that have been camping for a while, and so it's hard for me to touch those people, like you said, the new people, and Udemy has an interesting pay system. So if someone just kind of happens on the course and goes on and signs up, they pay the $59.99 and I get half of the money. And if someone uses a referral link that I've set up, I get 97% of the money. So it's quite a big difference. And again, it's not that I'm in it for the money, but I mean, I don't see why they should get it. They didn't do the work, but they are hosting it. So, I don't mind paying a percentage. So I posted it on Thursday. Last Thursday was the day it was announced. And the Facebook post on my Camper Christina Facebook page, I believe, has 46 shares. I was actually quite surprised at the amazing feedback and support that I received from the outdoor community, and just the responses. Everything was positive. I didn't get any negative feedback. Everybody was encouraging and happy to see this, and I feel the same way as a camper. That there needs to be something out there because people are going out into the backcountry in droves. They can't get car campsites anymore. The system is overloaded. They said they have something like double the amount of reservations that they had last year at this time. So, you can't go car camping. What are you going to do? Oh, well, hey, why don't we just go on a backcountry trip? It can't be that hard, and they bring their coolers and they attract bears, and then the bears come to the campsites. And now the next person that camps there has to deal with bears, and so on and so on. So I try to explain to the best of my ability the impact that kind of thing will have, not just on you. Okay, yeah, you go and you have a bad time and maybe a bear visits you, but the next people that camp there, they're going to have those bears coming back because now they've found food. Maybe that bear is going to have to be relocated or put down. So I tried to really put the course and build the course around, leave no trace, and to be cognizant and aware of the environment and the animals and nature. And, you're visiting their home and you need to respect them and do the things that will help them as well, right? I think that's important. Oh, crap, you're gone again. Aries Styrene, you'd be very surprised how many newbies watch YouTubers and think they can do it without the experience. So really appreciate what you're doing. Thank you, Aries. I really appreciate that. It was part me being selfish creating this course. I hear the stories all the time on social media. I see it. People talking about, I went camping this weekend and there were people across the lake and, they had coolers and they were partying and they had their music up loud and they had garbage everywhere. And, I think that's why I got the response that I did on Facebook when I published the course, because people were like, you know what, we're tired of it. and we want to help these people too. Like, I want to help these people to understand what it means to protect the environment and nature and, all these valuable campsites and areas that we all cherish, because we want to go back and visit them too. And I don't want to go to my favorite campsite and see garbage everywhere and find out that bears have been coming there because people have left their food out and stuff like that. How are you doing, Dennis? Are you back? No. Okay. All right. I am going to go to the chat over here. I just happened to open it just before.
Okay. You know what? I feel horrible about this because your course here deserves better than what we're giving you right now on this show, Christina.
That's okay, Dennis.
I may have to pull.
Usually me.
Unless you want to keep explaining, but I have questions that I'd like to get across that are very important here, and this is unfair to you and your course that my internet is the way it is right now. I sincerely apologize.
I have an idea
have to
for
do
you
a
if you
quick
want to
check
put
here.
the questions in our private chat.
Can anybody even hear me? Geez.
Yes. Okay, anybody have any questions? I'm going to check the site, and in a couple weeks we're going to be talking about how I started my podcast because of Dennis's show. I'm just kidding. Yes, Daniel, remember to hit the like button, guys. I'm doing a great job. Thank you, old man in a canoe. Question: what are the first 2 or 3 tips you'd provide for novice campers? Well, if I told you that, then you wouldn't have to take the course. Let's see. The food storage, I think, is one of the biggest ones. You need to learn how to store your food properly. Throughout the course, I talk about all different kinds of, ways that you can kind of cheat buying expensive equipment. And, instead of, for example, getting a small backcountry stove, you can bring in a barbecue or a gas barbecue or something like that, a Coleman stove. The entire course is encouraging new campers to stay on an access lake or only do one portage if you have to. That way, you don't have to, worry about that kind of stuff to start off with. Just start really simple so you have a good experience. And, there's all kinds of hacks that you can kind of get around so you don't have to go out and buy a lot of new equipment, things that you can get cheaply that, will do the job until you decide if you, want to keep doing this and spending money. Are you back, Dennis?
Mm-hmm. You know what? I'm just going to.
I saw a question.
Pardon me?
I saw a question that was up from Pine Martin, but I didn't.
Okay, he was just saying that he appreciates that your course has a lot of materials on ethics and etiquette of the backcountry camping. That is something that is really lacking when it comes to some newbies out there. I'll call them newbies without no disrespect by all means.
No disrespect to anyone at all. I mean, this is everybody. I was new. You were new. We were all new at some point, right? And just trying to make it easy for those people to get everything in one shot, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because a lot of the newer campers out there, they don't realize that the backcountry is someplace to be cherished. They go out there and they think they're, doing a rough and tumble thing out there, but they don't realize that the impact that it could actually have on the environment by being out there. Not to mention, leaving trash and stuff like that. It's always a good thing that we encourage them to actually leave no trace, right?
Yes, exactly.
Now, do you touch on that big time in your course?
I have a section on it specifically at the end of the course, but I talk about it through the entire course. It's safety and leave no trace are 2 things that I'm huge on. Wear your PFD, make sure you can call someone if something happens. Don't mess around with your fire unless you have gloves on, because you're the only one that's out there. I mean, if the weather's bad, no one's going to stop you from going on your trip except for you. And everything that you do in the backcountry is on you. And I stress that over and over again because people need to understand that they're responsible for everything when they're out there. They've got to make sure they put out their fire right. They've got to make sure that they're careful with their food. They've got to make sure, all of these things, because if something happens, there's nobody out there to help them, or there might not be, And again, when I stress at the beginning about planning, stay on an access lake, go to a lake where there's a lot of campsites. So, if something happens, there's someone you can ask for help. Make sure you have a cell signal. If you don't have a cell signal, you can rent an inReach. You can rent this, from these places, like all of the stuff that they need to know so that they can be safe as well as respectful of nature.
Right. So a couple questions here. I'll let you take questions from people in the chat if you can't get them from me here, Christina. Paul Hoy is asking, what are the first 2 tips that you would provide for a novice camper?
So you missed this section already, and I went into welcome to Christina's Canoe Hound Adventure Show. I started, when you said you were having problems earlier, I started the YouTube up on the other page so that I could read the questions, and I read that one. I don't know if I could categorize them really right on the jump, but leave no trace for sure. Don't cut down live trees. There's a lot of bathroom stuff. Surprisingly, there's like 4 or 5 videos in the bathroom section. How to use the bathroom if you don't have one, right? If you're crown land camping. For women, there's stuff about FUDs, female urination devices, little tidbits about your time of month, how to handle that, how to make sure that you put your toilet paper somewhere and not just throw it out in the forest, because we all love to see flowers, but not paper flowers. So just even little things like that, and sometimes maybe people don't know. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and maybe they didn't know what to do with their toilet paper, so they just kind of buried it under a bush, and then it got loose and it was flying around. So, burn it, put it in the privy, put it in your pocket for later. I always keep a Ziploc bag in my pocket for if I have to use the washroom, if I have to pee or whatever, and I just put my toilet paper in there. You can kind of creatively fold it inside, inside out, so that the wet spot's in there, and keep it in your pocket until you have a privy, or you get to your trash bag, or you can burn it. Tips like that. Let me see what else. It's a lot harder to do this without someone asking questions. I'm going to go back to the chat. Let's see. John Carlson, we all need to start and learn. Oh, this is really weird because when I'm looking at the questions, I'm watching myself talking on the other screen in back. Question from Kid Products. I have got your stick stove in my course. What part of your course was the most fun for me to film and put together? Oh, wow. You know what? I have the outline right here. I think the safety. I think probably the safety section. I really like that part, talking about safety, and also tents and shelter. Talking about shelter and different kinds of tents, and I also really like lighting because there's a lot of different options, especially for people who, you can go to the Dollarama and get a headlamp for $4. It's not the best quality. You're not going to see across the lake, but you can pick one up there and use that until you can get expensive gear. I really enjoy doing the hacks. And, when I first started backcountry camping on my first trip, I went out on an air mattress, one of those ones you use in a pool. And I blew it up and deflated it every day. I was on a 5-day trip. And, it kept me comfortable. It wasn't the greatest thing, but it cost me like $5. And it worked great. I see Dennis is back, maybe? No, Dennis? Okay. I think there's a difference between newbies and those headed into quick access sites because of lack of sites. Hopefully, though, they will see the errors of their ways. Well, yeah, I hope so too. I wanted to bring something up, and I guess since I have the floor, I'll do it now. But I I found something really disturbing. I think it was last week. David Bain, who runs the Ontario Backcountry Canoe Symposium and the Winter Camping Symposium, he put up a post about somebody who had made some bushcraft furniture on some crown land in Kitchener. And he was like, wow, like this, look at this, like it's terrible kind of a thing. And he put it in, I think the page was Crown Land Campers. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember the exact page. He just sent me a screenshot of it. But people were totally opposed by what he was saying. They were like, what's wrong with this furniture? And why can't they cut down live trees and make furniture? And I was reading the comments, and I would have to say probably 70% of them were people that were saying, this is great. Look at this beautiful chair look at this shelter that they made. It was actually like a lean-to. And people were just going on and on about what's this guy's problem, and they're being nasty to him. And I could not believe it. And it's stuff like that, right? That we don't want to see as backcountry campers. We want to see the backcountry stay beautiful and, not full of garbage and having trees cut down and stuff like that. So it's stuff like that really drove me to do what I did, and kind of put myself out there. I was terrified when the course launched. I was actually very scared. And it was because I didn't, like, it's people like that, right? Like that response from David Bain's post on that Facebook page, like, that some people just don't get it. And it's us, right? We're a huge community. Look at all the people that watch your show and that participate, and everybody that's in the chat. And we all need to somehow help these people to stop destroying these places that we love. And, again, the course is not about all these bad people. Like, there are legitimately people that just don't know what to do, and they don't know, how to do it right. So that's why. Hey, are you back?
Yeah. I am catching bits and pieces of it.
I'm running it.
Yeah, Christina, you're doing a fantastic job. I think you should be my co-host from here on in, right? I got to pop a question up. I don't know if you've already covered this, but Mustang 774 is asking, do you cover what type of meals to cook?
No, this question has not been asked that I know of. I haven't answered it, actually. I have 3 different sections in the course that deal with food. One is, cooking in the backcountry. So different ways to cook, whether it be a campfire, stick stoves, if you're going to bring in your Coleman barbecue because you're not portaging and you're new and you don't have a backcountry stove, backcountry stoves, all that kind of stuff. And then I have another section on food storage. And then I have another section, just a small section. Actually, food is one of the smallest sections. And I'm thinking about expanding a little bit, but the food section, I just talk about different types of meals, freeze-dried options, dehydrated options. Food is really tricky for a lot of people, right? Because a lot of people have issues. There's gluten issues and allergies, and I have colitis. So it's really hard to kind of get specific. But in the food section, I do have a printable PDF page where it just kind of lists breakfast, lunch, and dinner, snacks and drinks, and kind of has some ideas for people of, what they might bring on their trip, and places that they can get more information. Are you still here?
Yeah, I think so. I'm still listening to you. You're broken up, but I'm still listening to you. Awesome. So yeah, we'll move on to the next one then. So that was Mustang. Do you cover any mapping and GPS stuff on your?
So I have a section called navigation. In that section, I go over different types of navigation. Hand railing, GPS, map and compass. And I suggest that people know at least 2 of them. You never know when something's going to fail. I've been handrailing for 15 years of my 19 years or 14 years of my 19 years backcountry camping. So there's nothing wrong with that. But, you should also have a backup, right? GPS, learn map and compass. But I don't actually teach map and compass in the course or anything. Like I went to a 2-day course for that. So it's not something that I can't just cover absolutely everything. I mean, it's a complete course, but you're brand new. You're not going to, sit there and have a chart and get the compass out. And do you know what I mean? Like, again, I'm encouraging people to go on a small waterways, small lakes, places like Halliburton, where you're just kind of going across the lake or, over one small portage. So you don't really need to know too much, but to always be aware. I have a video where I tell the story about how I got lost in the Privy, going to the Privy at 3 a.m. And I shared that actually in a video of mine on YouTube. And I was amazed how many people commented that the same thing has happened to them. So, I mean, to always be aware of your surroundings, just simply looking around every once in a while and knowing, the sun's over here, the moon's over there, the Big Dipper's there. So if something happens, you can kind of, orientate yourself, right? Because you can get lost even at camp if you're not careful. So just again, tips and things and ideas of ways that people can help themselves. And I actually have a little clip of Kevin Callan's Map and Compass course, just a screenshot, because he has a great Map and Compass video right on his YouTube that you can go and kind of learn right there online. And again, not have to go somewhere, or if something's shut down, you can still learn and know some things before you go out.
Yeah, most certainly. Have you, Christina, gone over sort of the itinerary that your whole course encompasses?
Sorry, no, not really. No, I just kind of touched on stuff. Yeah, I did mention that there's 22 sections and 112 videos.
Yeah,
That's 111.
That's a lot of videos to shoot. And what's the average duration of a video that people would watch?
Around a minute and a half or two. It depends on like the food. Like I have one food video and it's 5 minutes long. And then after each section, there's quizzes, and they were really fun to make up. Oh, somebody asked me earlier what one of my favorite things of the course was. Probably making up the quizzes. Some of the answers are pretty comical, but again, if you're new, you might not know, right? Like, what do you call the box that you've used as an outdoor bathroom? And I think one of the things I put was a thunderstorm, like just like random, right? Like random things. But I also use answers from other sections to I just want to make sure that people are paying attention, right? There's no pass or fail. Like you do get a certificate at the end of the course, but it's not, it's not like you're going to go to Algonquin Outfitters and be like, here's my certificate. Like, I'm going to go on a trip now. Let me go. Like, it's just to kind of, refresh you at the end of each chapter and say, okay, do you remember this? Do you remember this? Like, do you put garbage in the Privy? True or false? Like, just little things, again, that stress that leave no trace and, to be safe and protect things and do the right things. So
that is one of the things, with the whole leave no trace type of thing. Yeah, I realize a lot of people that are new to this whole backcountry camping thing, because they're new, it's not like they're intentionally doing things that are bad. It seems to be that it's just because they don't know better. And that's the good thing about this course, is it will steer them in the right direction so that they kind of get a gist or a whole feel for the entire, backcountry camping scene and what it means to, what it can mean to them and what it can mean to people like ourselves who frequent, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Another question here from.
Oh, bye, Dennis. Does the course platform allow for student interaction with the instructor? Are students invited to approach you for Absolutely. There's a couple of videos where I say at the end, if you need more information or you don't understand, to let me know. But there is a messaging system right inside of Udemy. And I even have it set up so when someone starts the course, welcome to the course, blah, blah, blah. I'm Christina. If you need anything, just reach out. and then again at the end of the course. And because I've been monitoring it, I have actually, I believe, 16 students as of today, which is awesome. One person has completed the course. There's another girl who's at 70%. The course is 4 hours and 50 minutes. So you actually can just do it in one day if you really wanted to just sit through all those videos. I actually took the course myself last week on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday nights because I wanted to go through the whole thing from start to finish and make sure there were no errors or no issues, and make sure that pretty much every word is correct. You really have to be careful when you say certain things. My friend Gail had posted the other day about a bear vault. She wants to get the BV500, and this is the clear bear vault I'm talking about. For you guys who watch my videos, it's the one that I use. And she said bear barrel. And someone corrected her right away and said, that is not, as she was talking about one of the blue ones. And they said, that's not a bear. That's not bear proof. That's not a bear barrel. And so I had called it a bear barrel because those big blue barrels, I just always called them bear barrels. And I called it that in 3 videos. So I had to reshoot the videos because I don't want to confuse people. I want to make sure that they know the exact terms and that things that are correct. And, it is not bear proof. Bears can get into them, as all of you guys know. So it's a great way to store your food if you do it properly, if you're in the right places. Great tip that I got from Chris Prouse from her video. Actually, I believe it was on her video, and she talked about it on Dennis's show when she was on, about the blue bear barrels, food barrels. Sorry, see, I'm still calling it a bear barrel. The food barrels, the blue food barrels. There's a little hole where the clasp is, and she suggested putting something in that so that the bear can't just flick it open. So I talk about that as well. I included that in there, and actually show putting a wire through that hole and twisting it up, and then showing how it can't be opened when you do that. I mean, a bear can still rip through the blue plastic material, but at least that kind of helps a little bit to keep it a bit more safer. And then if you hang it correctly at the right heights, which again was a really big challenge for me, because if you look on Ontario Parks and Halliburton and all these different websites, and then there's Cliff Jacobson and Kevin Callan, and everybody has a different way, different measurements. And let's be honest, guys, like, we're not going to be out there with a measuring tape going, okay, it's not quite 15 feet, right? So do the best that you can. This is how it should be, but do the best that you can. And if you see any signs of animals, go to another campsite, report it to the office, that kind of stuff. Hi, Dennis.
Hi.
Thanks for joining me today, everyone. Dennis from Canoe-Hounds Adventures.
Hey, welcome everybody. I'm so
Welcome
sorry,
to the
Christina.
show, Dennis.
My wife just sent me a text, and because I text her to do to check with our internet service provider, and yes, we are experiencing internet tech difficulties in the area. Go figure, right?
It's kind of funny for me because I'm in Muskoka, and the first time I was on your show, I think I froze up a couple of times, right? And then people were talking, and I was like, but I couldn't hear anything, and I'm like, So it's a little bit, I don't want to say
this
fun,
is so frustrating.
it's entertaining to see it.
Yeah, this is so frustrating for me because I really, really wanted to learn so much more about this course.
Okay,
right?
well,
I guess I'm just going to have to take the course.
Let's go. What do you got?
Yeah, well, hey, while we're still getting there, right?
I was
Actually,
thinking maybe you could put some questions in our private chat, and that way, if you freeze out, I can just still answer your questions, and you'll just have to watch them later.
Does this have you already gotten to Alan's question from
nope,
Kingdom Outdoors?
I haven't read anything in the chat. You've been pretty much around enough to keep going.
You keep going as long as you want. I'm gonna duck out purposely here. I'm gonna go reboot my computer, or not my computer, but my router. I want to see if that'll make a difference again. So Feel free to carry on as long as you can, Christina. And you know what? I owe you one. Next time I see you, I'll get either a big glass of wine or a big tall beer for you.
Wine. Hello. Okay, you rebout.
So you carry on. I'll be back in about 5 minutes because I'm going to try and nip this because I really do want to have a conversation here. So
okay. Alan is saying, how is the course different than the content, video, vlogs, blogs, posts, pages you and others have been sharing for years? The difference is, Alan, in my opinion, it's relevant to whatever you think personally, but in my opinion, there are all kinds of things out there, and they're small. There's like magazine articles. I've looked online to see what else was out there. The only course that I could find that was somewhat similar to what I made is there's a 41-minute, it's called How to Camp Like a Pro, and it's on Udemy. It's the same price as my course, and it's 41 minutes long, and you can see some of the, you have to preview 10 minutes of videos on the course. So if you guys want to check it out, there are 10 minutes worth of videos on my course where you can kind of actually see how the course is run. Basically, it's me on a screen like this, but it's half of me. And if you've seen any of my virtual presentations for this year, the Canoecopia presentation, for example, or the one for the Outdoor Adventure Show, it's me on half the screen, and then the other half is I've inserted pictures and video clips to show what I'm talking about, because they say that you're supposed to be in the room kind of thing, like a teacher. So I don't consider myself a teacher. I'm just kind of sharing my information. But I think that the difference is that everything is there. It's just all there from start to finish, all in one spot, and except for the prerequisite of having some type of paddling experience, which I talk about in the introduction. It's on the main page, and it's also in the final video, to have some type of paddling experience or take a course or go with someone who's paddled before, so that you don't show up and it's like, I don't even know which end of the canoe I'm supposed to sit in, that kind of stuff. But other than that, which I can't personally teach online, everything is there from start to finish, and it's all in one spot. And the course is, I'm not sure the term that they use, but if you sign up for the course, as long as it's on Udemy, which I'm hoping will be a long time, you can go back and take the course. You can watch 5 videos today and then watch another 5 in 3 months or 4 months. It's always there. And I'm going to be updating it when needed. Yesterday, I actually put a brand new video up because Brian, who is the person who has actually completed the course, I believe Dennis is going to have him on at 8, which will be nice because I'll have someone to talk to besides all you guys. Sorry. I think I cut out too. Oh, geez. Poor Dennis. Sorry, guys. I'm really sorry about this. This kind of sucks some. Hopefully when Dennis reboots his router, it will be better. I'm not sure where I cut off. So I'm going to check the chat and see if there's other questions. Barrels are a lot easier to hang if you use a pulley. Yes, they are, Steve. I have heard that. I have never used a pulley system myself. And I don't want to get super technical with new people. I try to stress on the most important things, even though everything is there. And for them to learn to use a pulley system on top of everything else. And it's something I can't really teach because I've never done it. So I do talk about it, and I do advise that some people use it. And once they get into it a little farther, if they decide to continue backcountry camping, that they can look into how to use one. Like you guys said, there's lots of videos on YouTube about all kinds of things. And I have lots of tips and tricks and information and safety things in my videos too. But the problem was, in my opinion, was that there wasn't everything in one spot. So that's, I think, the difference in the courses. Let's see what else we got here. Question, Tina. Hi, Tina. It's good to see you. Can the course be completed over many days? I think I actually just addressed that. So yeah, the course is unlimited, and you can go back to it whenever you want, as long as you want. The courses that I purchased in October, 5 of them I haven't even started yet, and they're just there whenever I want to take them, as long as they don't get deleted by the people who have created them, which is frowned upon. They're there for you to use whenever you want. Dennis, you're back. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I'm back, but yeah, the connection's not much better again. Like I say, the wife texted me, said that the internet is out in our area, so I'm surprised it's even working at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I find that if you sit very still, that does help. So try not to move too much.
Actually, I'm just wondering, when Brian was on in the green room, were you connected with him properly?
Yep. You want to bring him in? Is he up?
Oh, you know what? If Brian wants to pop in, maybe he can, because I know he had some questions of you as well, and then because I know he's taken your course, and it's something that he has some good remarks about. So
he had some great feedback for me. I had mentioned a little while ago, I don't know if you caught it, but how I was saying how, you know, you have to be really careful about every single word you say. I made a video about a trip plan or a float plan, and I called it a trip report. And it's just something I've always called it. And he said, isn't a trip report like this? And I'm like, yeah, it is. But I didn't even notice. So I went back and re-recorded all the videos and republished them. And now they say trip report, trip plan or float plan. And again, it's just something you get used to saying. Sometimes you fall into bad habits, and you know, that one word, instead of calling it a trip plan, calling it a trip report, can make a big difference. So I wanted it to be right, so I refilmed the video right away and reposted it, and the new one is up already. So it's funny because it took 2 days for Udemy to approve the course. And I was really worried about the stage. I had been asking questions for months because I didn't even know if they were going to approve a course like this. And after all this work, right, to have them say, no, sorry, we're not doing it. Excuse me. I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen? So when I got to the approval stage, I tried to have everything perfect because I wanted to launch it on a Thursday because that's when I publish my videos normally. And they came back and said, you can use your logo as the course photo, but it can't have any words in it. Mm-hmm. So I had my friend Stacy, who made my my Camper Christina logo. I had her design this logo. I knew exactly what I wanted it to look like, but I couldn't put it together. So she made it for me. And I put and they said, yeah, your course is great, but you can't use this photo. But they didn't tell me why. They just sent a link with all the specs. And I'm like, what's wrong with it? Like, I don't know. Is it the wrong size? Like, I'm not a graphic designer. So then I got on the chat and I said, like, what's the deal with, can I use this picture? And that's the picture that you guys saw on the post for the show. And they said, you have to take the word Eureka off the tent. So I had to pay somebody splickety right there in the moment to get them to take this word off the tent so that I could use it as and resubmit it. And then it took them another day and a half before they said, okay, you're good to go. And the other thing was they said, okay, so you put Backcountry Camping Engineer at Udemy. That was their suggestion of what your title is. So I used it. They're like, well, you can't use the word Udemy though. I'm like, you guys suggested it. So those were the only 2 things that they said was wrong with it. So I was worried for nothing, but you don't know, right? Until you get to that point. And again, very scary. Hi, Brian.
Hey.
Congratulations.
To the rescue.
I Dennis, when you were gone. Sorry?
I got a little bit of Brian.
Do you have your volume on? Turn your volume off of your. What does it say?
Oh yeah, that's could be me too. Yeah, the volume's off, so
I don't know.
oh well.
Go figure. So, Brian, what can you tell us about the course?
It's awesome. It really is. I mean, it's obvious you spent a ton of time doing it. Myself, I started, back in high school with a, geography trip, and that was my first exposure. So I've been doing this a while too. But, it's Camper Christina. I mean, you watch your videos, you know what you're going to get. It's real, it's authentic, and, that's what comes through. And the basics, she goes through her reasonings to why she does what she does. It's for beginners who it's geared for. I think it's a fantastic start. You learn, and if you like it, you learn to advance, and you buy different things, and you see what works for you. But it's a great, fantastic course to start.
Thank you, Brian. Don't make me cry.
That'd be $5.
Yes.
It really is, like for everybody that's in the chat or whatever. It's like I said, I'm not new to backcountry camping. My wife and I, canoe camp and go Algonquin, and have done several trips. We actually stayed on a couple sites that Christina was on through her videos, just watching different areas. But again, can you learn something? Yeah. Are is everything new information? No, not for those that have the experience to go with it. But again, it's one of those things that for beginners who it's geared for, it's a great resource. For me, it's the people that want to learn are going to gain from it. It's the ones that don't care, won't care. And that's the target audience that's going to be really hard to reach. But for people that want to learn and understand why backcountry things are done the way that are done, it's a great introduction.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, how long have you been backcountry camping? How many years?
On and off 30, because I'm old.
So you've got more experience than me, technically.
But you've got way more trips.
Well, yeah, and then there's the solo aspect too, which is a lot different, but still. So yesterday, Brian sent me a big list. I said, he sent me this feedback and it was great. And I actually didn't want Brian to take the course because I said, it's for beginners. You're not going to learn anything. And it's not really directed for, what you're doing. I don't want you to waste your money. Right. And then yesterday I said to him, he said, I'm done, blah, blah, blah. It was great. Gave me some really good feedback. I posted it actually today on one of my stories on Facebook. I don't know if you saw it. I don't know if I was allowed to post it, but it's on my page and it's right there. Anyone can see it. So I figured it was public anyways.
Yeah, sure.
But he sent me a list of about, I don't know, maybe 6 things? Yep. 6 or 7 things of things that he was like, I didn't know this. I didn't know this. This was really cool. This was a great trip. And I screenshot your message to me and I sent it to my friend Gail. And I'm not going to share the tips because you got to take the course to get them. But Gail read them and she said, I didn't know this, this, and this. So I was pretty happy with that, that you could still learn something. I didn't want you to waste your money. I'm not going to share the tips because you got to take the course to get them.
That's the thing.
But Gail read them and she said, I didn't know this, this, and this. So I was pretty happy with that, that I still learned something. I didn't want you to waste your money. I'm not going to share the tips.
Must be a delay on Dennis's end.
That's the thing. But Gail read them.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Just get Dennis off the show and we'll be fine.
That's fine. I mean, I made some notes along the way, and like I said, it's the information that's there is going to be clear to people. And like I said, it's Camper Christina. So you watch your videos and you know what you're going to get, and the presentation style is there. I mean, your bathroom series, hey, it is what it is, right? It's the number 1, the number 2, and you got to do it. So here's how you look at it.
Women's stuff. So
the women's stuff. I really learned a lot about the women's stuff.
Let me tell you something funny about that. Krista, a friend of mine, actually, her and her husband were the ones that helped rescue those people on Lake Obiango in the summer.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She's awesome. And she teaches backcountry. And so I mentioned my course to her, and she said, if you want me to look over anything, like, let me know. She's been amazing. I thought people who taught backcountry camping and stuff, like as for a living, or like, you know, whatever, they would be kind of angry about this. But she was so great. She's like, I want everybody to learn. And if they can learn this way over my way, I'm all for it. So I thought that was amazing. But I had to ask her about some of the female stuff because I don't have some of those things. And so I had to kind of insert those little blurbs on the privy. I inserted that like 2 days after the course was launched because I didn't know. So I was like, well, can you tell me what to do? Because I didn't know. But because of her, like, I got to add that. And she said so many women go out and they don't know what to do at that time of month. So I want to talk about it through the whole thing here, but just, you know, to mention, because again, sometimes it's not people being disrespectful. It's just people who are ignorant. They don't know any better.
And that was, I know a couple of comments came up in the chat. Like, it's, you know, you don't know what you don't know, you know, and again, we all started somewhere. You know, there's things that I probably did that, you know, I would be horrified at now. But, you know, to me, and again, I said kind of a couple of things to Dennis too about, you know, like a couple of pet peeves. Like I don't like getting to a site and seeing like all these, you know, 2x4s, you know, nailed to trees and the tables and, you know, 62 grates and all these. It's like, come on, like, just, you know, I want to get to a site and feel like I'm away.
You're the first person. You're the only person who's never been there.
Yeah, and it
what it's supposed to
be. From that, you know, and again, you know, and it's nice to have a bench once in a while if you don't bring a chair.
For sure.
And a fire pit, you know, you don't. And again, like, you know, resource management, you don't need, you know, 72 logs on a fire. You know, Matt Hahn video recently, you know, like wet logs that they tried to burn, like big ones. You know, it doesn't work. But where people, you know, is it ignorance? Is it just, you know, they just don't care? Maybe they're drunk. I don't know. But, you know, it changes your perspective when you're looking for something. And again, not everybody goes out with the same intent. Some guys, you know, weekend warriors want to go out and have the party for the weekend with the big coolers and chairs and stuff.
Yeah.
Fortunately, you know, you can't not, you know, have that happen. That's, you know, but clean up after yourself and you know, make it feel like you said, that you're the first one the next time.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you get a chance to watch the campfire video?
I did, yes. It was, I liked it. Yeah. Okay. And again, it was
that wet wood issue is in there too.
Yeah, exactly. Who's that guy?
Oh, Dennis. Welcome from the green room, everyone. Welcome, Dennis, to the show.
Guess who figured out how to do mobile tethering?
I don't even know what that is. So sounds funny.
At least I could hear the conversation better. Sorry, guys.
That's okay.
My gosh, I feel horrible. This has got me. I'm surprised my face isn't all red. Let's put it that way. So I heard you talking. Okay, so Brian, I heard you talking about one of your pet peeves being the making furniture or nailing stuff to trees and stuff like that. Yeah. No.
For me, it's just one of those things that it just takes away from, you know, my experience out there. Again, you know what? Hey, if somebody's there more often than me and they're using that, you know, I'm not going to rip it down, but I don't like it that it's there. You know, my preference would be a more natural setting.
Yeah.
You don't have the opportunity to get to Crown land all the time. So
that's what you're going for, right? You're going to be, I don't know, for me, I want to go to it. This is why I go to Temagami, right? And I go to all these places out in the middle of nowhere because I want to be out there in forest, you know, sitting beside a lake, like primitive. Like, I know I've got like a stove and a sleeping bag and a tent, and, you know, I'm not camping out under the stars, you know, or whatever, but I want it to be, you know, as real, as natural as possible. Mm-hmm. And I think most people want that. And, you know, hopefully this will help that to happen a little. I know I'm not going to change the world, but you know, if a couple people learn something and they tell 2 friends and so on, like that commercial from the shampoo when I was a kid.
I mean, you know, is with the travel what it is now, and the campsites being booked up like they are so quickly. You know, I mean, I have some you know, I hammock camp with some guys, and it's going to be tough to do. I'm thankful I have a backyard. I've got porta backyarda, you know, that I have my hammock stand and the big oak tree, and you know, I can sit and watch shooting stars from my backyard.
Nice.
I know guys, you know, some people don't have that opportunity. Maybe, you know, they've got different living conditions. I'm thankful that I have that. So at least I can do that. But to create that same, you know, type scenario out in the bush, it's a different experience. You know, the sounds are different. The cars, you know, the forest noises, you know, all the mini bears running around, stomping around. You know, it's just, you know,
bears.
Yeah, and I'll be honest. I mean, I took my first solo trip the year I turned 50. Scared the hell out of me, but that's kind of why I did it.
Yeah.
But it was something it's the experience, and that's what with Christina's videos in this course, again, it's her experiences, and I mean, she's got experiences if you watch her stuff like hardly anybody else has. And so that's where you have to give her credit for putting this together and relaying the basic information, because, you know, really you're so far past that, right? Your skill level. But has been doing it. But so you kind of went back to the basics.
Yeah.
Which I think must have been a little bit hard to do.
Yeah.
Like, well, if I had to do this, okay, well, how would I do it? And you have to think, like, you know, go back to like your 4 and okay, how am I going to figure this out? So I give you a lot of credit for that too.
Thank you. Yeah, I had to dig deep for some of the things, and you know, because it's been almost 20 years since my first trip. I don't have pictures of, you know, the air mattresses that I used, but thankfully I went on a trip a few years ago and used one, and so I had some pictures. But I mean, you can't even, like, all of the pictures, just the searching. I searched through 5 years worth of video clips and pictures before I even started filming, just to pull all of those pictures, and right, because as I'm talking about certain things, like, I don't want people to be bored. They say you're supposed to change your screen something like every 4 seconds. It's ridiculous that people's attention span is that, right? So I try to put pictures and video clips alongside while I'm talking, so people have something to look at, right, and focus on, other than just me sitting there talking, and they don't get bored, right? You don't want somebody to be sitting there falling asleep.
No.
But just to pull all those pictures and find all that stuff. So I have a video series, a section on poisonous plants, for example, and this would be great if someone could help me. I would appreciate it. I have never seen poison ivy, poison oak, or what's the other one? It's the burgundy stuff, sumac, poison sumac. So I've never seen any of these plants in the forest, and I don't have any pictures of them. So I can't just have a video and say, okay, well, this is what you need to, I can explain the plant. I can say that it has, you know, 3 leaves, it has points, whatever, it's round, it grows in these places, it turns this color, but I don't have a picture of the actual plant. So I found a teaching website where if you're using it for educational purposes, you can use the photos. So I did find poison ivy and poison oak, but I haven't found poison sumac. So I don't have a picture of poison sumac. So until I get that photo, I can't publish that section of the course. And again, I wasn't super worried about it. I don't know what your experience is, but in 19 years of backcountry camping, I've never had any of those things. So
more so with the car campgrounds.
Pardon?
More so with car campgrounds.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I used to camp at Long Point every year, a couple of times a year when I played volleyball, and we used to go play on the beach and play ball, and they had poison ivy there, and they would have signs that said poison ivy here, and right. But other than that, and I asked a couple people, and they said, I've never had that issue in the backcountry. So I had to kind of drop it, but I do have the videos made. And, if someone can send me a picture of poison sumac that I can use, then I will happily add those to the course. But I wasn't going to pay $13.50 for one picture of poison sumac. I just didn't, think it was that important. But thankfully, I have all those pictures to go with all that stuff. And that's just because of all the trips that I've done, right?
Right.
I think
and that's the thing. Just want to say, like, everybody in the chat and anybody that wants to pass along the link that was in you posted for that to do the course. And I don't know if it's Udemy or Udemy, but no.
I've never heard it pronounced, so I could be
me either. So, but if it sounds like I'm a Camper Christina fan, and I am, right? Because I think it took a lot of guts for her to do what she did, and a lot of time invested. So I want to support that, and that's part of what this community does, right? You support. It's why we're with Dennis's show or some of the other groups, and Kevin Callan. Okay, so I have a couple of his books, maybe, but maybe he even signed a couple. But stuff, like you just want to support those people that are doing good things for the greater good. So, supporting you through this, again, you know what, it's not going to be for everybody or anybody. And those people that that don't care, won't care. And I get that. And that's the tough sell. But you have to target those people that do want to learn and want to make a little bit of investment. And to me, when I put the note to Dennis, the course cost is reasonable. The way you structure it, to me, it's an investment. If they watch that course, it's an investment. They could probably save at least that much in what they might have spent on gear or stuff that they didn't need, right?
Yeah.
So to me, that's it. That's the value. Is watch the course, follow along, see what you can do without for now. And if you like it, you want to continue and grow your gear. I've got tons of crap of my own. It doesn't see use all the time, but you accumulate stuff. But the way you present it, like I said, the value is in. You could probably save that much in savings of getting by with what you have available. So.
Well, yeah, and I really tried to focus on that because, when I went on my first trip, I didn't have Keen water shoes or hiking boots. Like, I wore water shoes that were like $5 from Canadian Tire on my first. I did the loop. I can't remember I started at Galarian, went through Rock and Louisa, and I think that big 3 kilometer portage was in there. Like, it was a sick trip for the first trip ever, but I studied. Like, I literally call it studying. I got books from the library 6 months ahead, and I read them all, and learned as much as I could because I wanted to do it right. But as far as gear goes, there are so many things that you can get away with not purchasing right from the jump that will help. And plus, you got an added bonus. You got 2 for the price of 1. Dennis, your feedback, Evil Twin. You guys got 2 for the price of 1 because you guys bought the course and you watched it together, right?
Yeah.
So again, guys, like if you want to take the course and you're home with your wife or your husband or your girlfriend or your kids, you can all just buy the 1 course and watch it together. I mean, you only get 1 certificate, but again, it's just a course complete.
Yeah, and when we've passed it along to a few people that are kind of interested and really they don't know, and like I said, it's for as reasonable as what it is at this point. You save that in frustration and gear that you don't need right away. So to me, that's the value in it right there.
Yeah, thank you. And Dennis is gone again. Let's see if we have some questions in the chat. Anybody have any? Oh, there's a question from Dan. And I just heard how he says his name properly for the first time tonight in the intro video. Where is it? I lost it. Oh, it's not a question. He's not the real Dennis. That's funny, guys.
Oh, Evil Twin. Yeah.
Can you see me and hear me?
I can hear you and I can't see you because I'm on the other. Okay. Paul Hoy is asking, in your course, Do you have beginner lessons, or what type of scotch to bring on your trips? The whole course is for a beginner. I don't know much about scotch, but I do show the plastic, I can't remember, platypus makes them, to show people how to bring their alcohol in so that they don't bring glass or cans.
Yep.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
priorities, right?
Are you in the basement, like literally, Dennis?
No, I'm upstairs now. I'm out of my studio and I'm coming to you from my cell phone.
Okay.
It's the best I got.
Paul would like to know if you go to my channel, is Dennis there? Gary, question, how long did it take you to put this course together? Probably 3 months of solid morning, noon, and night, like every waking minute, and 2 months before that. So 5 months in total, but probably 3 months. The last 3 months has been like hardcore, like 7 in the morning to like 11 at night every day.
Christina, did you have any help doing this, or was this all solo?
It's pretty much all solo. I was mentioning to Brian that, or maybe earlier, that Krista helped me with one of the bathroom issues for women. I had Becky Mason actually looked over the course outline for me and gave me some suggestions. 4 of the 5 things that she suggested I did have in the course. She hasn't seen the videos, but she saw the outline. Because Becky has a course online of how to paddle solo. It's like a tutorial. And so I was hoping to recommend that to people if they couldn't get out to do a live course, to be able to at least watch that and get something other than going out blind. But she didn't think it was suitable to suggest that. But she was still really interested in what I was doing. And she's such a nice lady. She asked for the outline and I sent it to her and she went through it and she said, I think you have everything, but do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? And one of the things I didn't have, which is blue algae. So she gave me some information about it. It might be something I'm going to add depending on how that evolves in the future. But again, it's like the poison ivy and the poisonous plants. I've never had issues with that. So I don't want to talk about things that I don't know about. So
it's funny you bring that up because I actually bought that from her as well. I have that downloaded too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's just for again. It's
$12.99, guys. Redcanoe.ca. Go check it out. Like
again, I know how to do a J. I know how to do a C, but I mean, there's just something magical about watching.
And she films it so well, right? Like I watched her video for it wasn't the Outdoor Adventure Show, but it was the thing that they did, the Go whatever. She had a video tutorial in there, and she films from under the water, so you can see the paddle like from the bottom of the lake. Or I don't know how she did it, but it's incredible to see, the different ways of the strokes and stuff from different angles. Also, my kayaking coach, Dimna Hayes, I believe she's still the only level 4 female coach in Ontario. She is magnificent. This woman has so much knowledge, and she also looked over the outline and she's seen quite a few of the videos, and she's she was really impressed with it too. So she's someone I look up to big time. I learned a lot of things from her, and to get one of these from her, it made me feel a little bit more confident about publishing the course.
The one section in the video where you're packing the kayak.
Yes.
And I've not kayaked. I don't think I'm comfortable.
Never will.
I don't. Yeah. I need more room to move. I don't. I gotta stand up and switch where my legs go and stuff. And it's just something that my son loves it, but it's not for me. I don't think. But I was like, packing a kayak looks to be a pain, and that's what. So.
I actually put Dennis, I have a couple of pictures of Kevin in there from when I took him on the kayaking trip with me, and he's sitting there trying to stuff his canoe pack into like the hatches and stuff. I thought that was funny. I tried to put humor in it as much as possible too. I don't know if you got any laughs out of it, but
there was for sure.
little entertaining, some fun pictures, stuff like that. So people, again, are entertained, right? Kevin Callan taught me my first presentation. You need to educate and entertain. That is your purpose. And for me, part of making this course in my brain, how I rationalized it was it's kind of like making a presentation for a show. And, how I became a solo camper, one of my favorite YouTube videos, my presentation at the Outdoor Adventure Show. People watch that all the time, and it's got so much information in it. And it's really just a giant monster of that, right? Like with everything included. So I figured if I can do that, why not, right?
So, Christina, over time, can you evolve the course by changing certain facets of the course along the way?
I can add a video right now if I wanted to, and it will be live in a few hours. Yeah, they just have to approve it.
So that's kind of
other courses.
That's kind of great that you can actually evolve it as time goes on. Like if you had another section to add, say for instance regarding poisonous plants or something along that lines.
Yeah,
that's great. That's great.
I added a video yesterday, actually, the one I was telling you about with it's campfire tips, and I sent it to Brian this morning, and I said I added this video. Check it out; it's up now. So I actually filmed it last night. I made it last night and uploaded it, and it's live now. It was live about 9 p.m. last night. So.
Nice. Hey, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to see if I can back out for a bit. If there's anybody else who wants to come up, Dennis, you're back now.
Kind of.
To me, it's a great course. It's reasonable, and again, there's lots to learn, and you do get a couple chuckles out of it too. So thank you very much for doing all that.
Thank you so much, Brian. I really, really appreciate your feedback and your support more than I can say. I'm glad you enjoyed the course.
Thanks for co-hosting, Brian.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
We'll talk. Yeah, I know, right? Sorry.
Yeah, thanks for giving me someone to talk to.
Yeah. You guys are both troopers.
All right, take care, guys.
Thanks, Brian. So, Christina, what haven't we touched on? Basically, actually, I should ask: Did you mention the giveaway at all?
No, I was just about to say that when you said, "What haven't we talked about?"
Would you? Okay, I will segue into this. Christina and I were speaking over chat and stuff today, and she has volunteered to give something that is very useful that everybody will find. Everything is going to be done this week through Christina. Okay, we'll have to let people know, obviously, what your email address is. Yeah, I'll let you explain what they need to do, Christina.
Okay, so I wasn't really prepared for this, but we talked about this today. So I am going to give away one course to someone. And what you need to do is send me an email, camperchristina@outlook.com, is it? I just made it today.
Yeah, I'm going to run downstairs and pop it onto the computer, okay?
Okay. No, don't go. So it's camperchristina@outlook.com. I believe Dennis is going to put it on the screen. I would like you to email me and tell me why you want to take the course. That's pretty much it. And I'm going to read all the responses if I get any. And, you guys, I know a lot of you are experienced. You know what you're doing out there. But maybe you have that friend or your cousin or your sister or your niece or nephew or somebody who wants to go camping with you and they keep bugging you, but you don't want to take them because they don't know what they're doing, or anybody that you think might appreciate this course, to send an email. There it is. I guess he's got that working. camperchristina@outlook.com. And on Sunday, let's say Saturday midnight, the contest will end. And on Sunday, I will pick the person. And Dennis, you're going to announce it on the show next week?
Yeah, we'll announce it. You could actually let the winner know.
I'll let the winner know, and then Dennis can announce it on the show next week and let you guys know. But just because it's such a specific thing, I don't want to just give it to anyone and then, Sty or somebody will win it, and he already knows what to do. So
Yeah.
I'd just like to have someone message me and send me an email, tell me why you want to take the course or why you want someone else to take the course, and I'll pick whatever I think is the best one. I also currently on my Camper Christina Facebook and my Camper Christina Instagram have a contest going to give away a free course as well on there. So you can also try there. All you need to do is put your name in or tag someone who you think might like the course. And at the end of this week, I'm going to do one of those random things, where you Facebook, what is it, like a random picker? You put all the names into like the computer and blah, 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 picks one person. So, so I'll be announcing that too. So,
well, that's awesome. So somebody's actually going to benefit quite well from this, and that's a good thing, right?
I hope so. I hope a lot of people do, and that's why I kept it really cheap. My original price was like $99.99 or $120. I mean, it's like I said, there's a course right now on Udemy for the exact same price, and it's 41 minutes. I can't see the whole course because I didn't buy it, but from the previews, the guy's talking about hitchhiking if you don't have a car, and I don't know, it seemed a little bit whatever. I don't want to, whatever, like it's, might be useful for some people, but he's not from this country. And so maybe where they camp, that works. I don't know, but I just thought, this is a good price. It's not a lot of money. Like Brian mentioned, you're going to save a lot of money because, there's all kinds of tips and things in there about how not to go out and buy super expensive gear. Like, I think the only thing I really recommend you buying, even the tent, like, you can rent one, right? So I give all the information. I have a bullet point list of what to look for or what you might need for your outing, the size, if it's waterproof or if it has a vestibule or all kinds of little things to look for. But I mean, you can rent a tent, you can borrow a tent. You don't have to buy a tent, right? Just make sure that it keeps you dry. Like, there's all kinds of things, right? Instead of, just waterproof it, test it in your backyard. I just had a guy, I can't remember what platform it was, but he just messaged me and he got a tent. I won't say what brand it is, but it's one that I might use a lot. And it was the only tent he could get because I guess tents are like everything else. You can't get it right now. It's like toilet paper. So he went and he got this tent because it was the only one he could get. And he tested it out in the backyard like everybody was recommending, and it leaked. We had a big rainstorm on the weekend, and it leaked bad. So I said, that's great because now right? You can waterproof it, test it again, and when you go out, you don't want to have that happen on a trip, right? You don't want to be out in the middle of nowhere and you're soaking wet and you're miserable and you're sitting in a puddle. So test things out ahead of time, all of those things, and save money wherever you go.
Right. Did you touch on the cost of the course?
It's $59.99 right now, introductory offer. It will be going up, but I don't know when yet. I'm just waiting to see how it goes.
Yeah. There you go, people. Snatch it up while you can.
Yeah, and like I said, like with Brian and Emma, right? Like the two of them watch the course on their TV. So 2 for 1 deal right there.
Well, that's the beauty part. And when you purchase the program, how long do you have access to it for?
As long as it's there.
As long as it's there, right? Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Hopefully years. I don't know. We'll see how long it's up there, but they encourage you once you put a course up to keep it up, right? So, if you bought it today and you didn't want to take it till November, whenever you want to get on there and start watching videos, it's there.
Cool. And when after somebody's done the entire course, what's in it for them at the end? Is there a special certificate or like an online certificate they can get?
Actually, Brian I've never seen one because I took the course, but I didn't get one for some reason. I didn't pay for it, I guess. So, but yeah, Brian sent me a picture of it. I don't know if this will work, but hey, let's try it.
Hey, we're working by our phones tonight, so.
Yeah.
I can't even see the chat the way I'm doing it here. So
hang on, I have to edit it because it's turning. It's sideways like Brian's phone was. What is going on? No technical difficulties. We have them all the time. It's because I'm trying to I don't know what it's doing. Hang on 1 second. Do you have more questions while I'm doing this? So yeah, they get a certificate at the end. I mean, it's more about just knowing what to do, right? And having that confidence, like, you know, to go out on a trip like that and not know anything, like it's scary, right? Like it's intimidating, you know, and I think that if you have knowledge, it gives you power. And I think that a huge part of fear is not knowing something, right? It's ignorance, right? Like you don't know anything, it makes you afraid. And once you know, that fear goes away and it helps you to gain confidence and to kind of be able to go out there and be like, okay, oh, you know, look, there's a bear. Oh, I know what to do, right? I can scare him away. Like, you know, Christina had in her video, like, so that you're kind of, you know, you're not experienced, but at least you kind of have a little bit of something to know what to fall back on and what to kind of do if certain situations arise, right? You know, oh, I'm going to go here. I better check and make sure there's cell service because what if something happens? You know, Christina said to check, make sure I got a signal. If I don't have a signal, oh, I can go to Algonquin Outfitters and I can rent InReach or whatever. Like that way you're prepared. And when you're prepared, then you're more comfortable. I find myself anyways, that's how it is with me. Dennis, don't go. Oh no.
I'm and this is my cell phone. No, like the cell phone should be okay. I'll drift in and out. But ultimately, so in the end, you put together this this awesome course, something that's going to be very educational for people that are wanting to learn. Ultimately, what are you expecting people to get out of this? I know the knowledge of backcountry camping, but ultimately, what's the ultimate goal of this?
Sorry, let me just. Oh wait, where's the? Oh, it turned again. Oh my God. This is my first day operating my phone, everyone. So I just want them to go out and be prepared, be safe, you know. A part of it, hang on, here I got it now. There's
okay, so that's one of the certificates. Yeah.
That's the only one that's been issued. I got a girl, like I said, she's 70% and someone else is 60% and someone else is 35%. And then a couple have just signed up, but they haven't done anything yet. I can actually see their progress on my little screen. So it's kind of neat and I can send them messages, you know, hey, congratulations. Like I said to Brian, oh, you're 50%, like way to go. Keep on going, kind of stuff like that.
Oh, you could actually track that, eh? That's cool.
I can't. It just says the percentage. It doesn't say which ones they've done or anything like that, but it just says the percentage that they've gone through of the course. So it's kind of neat. Okay. Yeah.
And you say you can't tell what they've done yet, but can you jump from different category to category?
Yeah. If you want to skip sections, you can. Like if you get to the clothing and you're like, I've been backpacking my whole, like I know to wear dry wicking clothes and I know to wear these kind of socks and this kind of footwear, then you can just skip the whole section. You don't have to watch it. I encourage everybody to watch everything because like Brian said, right, he's been camping for 30 years and he sent me a list of like 6 or 7 things that he never knew. So because he watched everything and you know, you never know like until you know, right? Like you don't know what you don't know. Like some people do things differently. Everybody does things differently. So, you know, maybe your way's better, maybe my way's better, who knows? But it's always good to have, especially in the backcountry, it's always good to have a backup, right?
Exactly.
You know, I don't just bring one lighter. Like I bring waterproof matches, I bring 2 lighters, I bring a flint. Like you always need to have things because there's no one to say, hey, I forgot my lighter, can I borrow yours? Right? Like you don't know. So you have to depend on yourself and know that you're depending on yourself and bring everything you need.
Sure. Now I wrote a blog post for tonight's show on my website. And the one thing that I did mention in there, and I even mentioned it to you the other day, and you said, well, you'll let me make the announcement, or not the announcement, but you'll let me. You know, I think even seasoned or experienced campers stand something to gain by checking out this course. After all, you know, we all think we know everything, but we don't all know everything. You know what I mean? And if you could pick up even 1 or 2 good points from this entire course, then you've learned something and the value is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, Dennis and I had a little thing about it because he posted that it was for new people and for beginners and experienced people, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess like experienced people can learn something from it too, but it's geared towards new people. Like some of the things are so like very simple, right? Like, how do you book a campsite? You can book it by lake or you can book it by number, right? Like there's a whole section on that, right? Because if you're new, you don't know how to book a backcountry campsite, right? You go to a Mew Lake and you pick site 65 and that's your site. But when you backcountry, you're booking Lake Opeongo, right? Hopefully not if you're new, you're not booking Lake Opeongo.
Yeah. Take the water taxi.
Right. Yeah. But you don't like, I tried to, like Brian said, I tried to put myself back there and think of anything that someone doesn't know anything, right? Like someone who's just come to Canada and they're like, oh my God, I want to go camping. Let's go. And right from scratch. So again, if you're experienced, you could skip that stuff and just check out the tips and the tricks and the different kinds of videos and the quizzes and
sure.
Yeah.
Let me take you into a time machine, Christina. Let's go back 19 years ago when you first started doing all this type of backcountry camping. What was your learning experience? How did you pick up all these tips and tricks and techniques? Did you have somebody to guide you along the way, or was it like free for all?
I studied. I went to the library. I took out a bunch of books and I went home, and for 6 months before my trip, I borrowed a dehydrator from someone. I learned how to dehydrate food. And again, like I touch on these things and I explain what they are, but I don't go into deep detail because on your first trip, like really, you're going to go out and you're going to dehydrate all your meals. Like, so again, yeah, there is maybe room for another course that might be for more advanced people, or winter maybe has been an idea that's rolling around in my head. But I studied, like I went as far as to find the nutritional value in food and how much protein is in everything and how much energy you need to do a portage and like how much food I had to eat every day to have that energy. Like I was crazy. I'd never canoed before. The person that I went with had canoed. He had taken scouts or cubs or whatever. So I got a video from the library on how to paddle, and I sat on the couch with one of those cardboard gift tubes and learned how to paddle, watched the video, and I self-taught, right? And then I didn't start taking courses until 2015 when I first started having the idea. Well, 2015 is when I did my first solo, and that's when I was like, you know what, I want to know more. I need more confidence. I need more knowledge. I had learned a lot of things on my own, and then sometimes those things change in your head, right? Like I said about you might have missed this, but Brian had pointed out that I called the trip plan or float plan a trip report. Just that one word, right? I refilmed all the videos because I'm like, that's not right. It's not a trip report. It's a trip plan or a float plan, right? So sometimes after a bunch of years, you get into habits. When I started kayaking, my first course, I actually got a conditional pass because I didn't do my forward stroke properly. After paddling for 15 years, I didn't know how to do the forward stroke. And I took a course way back when I first started kayaking in 2001, I think, with Outdoors Oriented. And I had just laxed out of it. So for 3 months, I had to retrain myself. And guys, it is so hard when you have learned something and you do it for 15 years and then you go back and you try to, okay, no, this is actually how you do it. And let me tell you, it's amazing when you do it properly, how much of a difference you can feel in your body. And this is, it's actually, I'll mention this, it's something that I've talked to Dimpna about because I want her to do a course for solo canoeists on how to do a proper forward stroke with a kayak paddle. because I'm watching videos of some YouTubers that are out there, and they are just like paddling a bicycle. And let me tell you, when you do the proper stroke, it's a side to side motion. When you do a proper forward stroke, you're not paddling a bike. This is all arms. So when you do this for an hour, all of this, you're done. When you paddle the proper forward stroke, your whole body's into it and it flows. And you can go so much further and so much longer by doing the proper techniques. But I didn't know any of that until 2015. So for like 14 years, I was doing things wrong. And once I started taking courses, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much better, right? And then I go on a trip and you feel it, right? You feel the confidence and the knowledge. And so I think a lot of that is a big reason of why I also did the course. There's a bunch of reasons. Another reason is what happened at Lake Obiango last summer.
I know that touched you. That really touched you. We discussed that before.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it too much because I mean, like I'm an emotional person sometimes, and like when I see something like that happen, like I'm just like, why? Like, why did that person have to die?
Yeah.
You know, like we're a community, guys. We're all out there. If you see somebody, I know it's hard, you know, maybe you don't want to speak up, you know, don't tell anybody, don't do that, but maybe say, hey, you know, I've been paddling for 15 years and I wouldn't go out on that. I changed my trip 3 times that weekend because of the winds. And I've been paddling for a long time. I'm a really strong paddler. And I was like, I'm not going out in that. And to be on Obiango in that, like, I don't know. So that was a huge trigger for me to say somebody's got to do something. And so my initial idea was I was going to make a safety video I was going to ask a bunch of YouTubers to everybody do a line, right? Like a 30-second or 15-second clip, wear your PFD, make sure you tell someone where you're going, like all just little clips, and to make a video that it was going to launch in the spring, and just to help new people. And somehow from that, this grew from that seed, and this is what happened. And you know, it's pure passion for me. I'm making, you know, a couple bucks off of it, whatever. I've published a YouTube video every week for 5 years. I've got like, you know, people are like, oh, you must make so much money. I made $790 off of YouTube in 2020. Total disclosure here, full disclosure. Yeah. And I spent $900 on trip permits and camping. So just that alone, not to mention the time, the energy, the dedication, the batteries, the portable chargers, the backup drives that I have to buy to keep this stuff on my computer. Like, it's not about the money. You know, I wanted to put a price on it to give it value. Mm-hmm. You know, so that somebody doesn't, oh, it's free. Yeah, we'll do it whenever. It's just there. Like, you're going to pay for something, and at least it's going to, you know, it's $60. It's a little bit of money. It's not much, but it's enough to kind of make someone go, okay, this is worth something, right? Mm-hmm. And that was my thinking in pricing it. It's not a get rich.
I think ultimately that's a very reasonable price for the amount of information that a person is going to gather. And they don't have to read it. It's all presented to them.
It's all video. There's nothing. Yeah. Somebody correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. I don't know, but I've done quite a bit of research. I haven't found anything like this online anywhere. And that was another reason, right? I want it all there. Like, look at what happened to the world. Like, we can't do anything right now. So everybody's sitting at home, we're at lockdown, and you know, everybody wants to go out camping. Like, why not take a course and learn what to do, so when you get out there, you don't destroy the forest and burn everything down and get all the bears killed and relocated. And, you know, like, it was just kind of I don't know, everything just made sense to me. And I thought, I don't know how there's not anything like this out there, but I didn't
Mhm.
find anything. I don't know if you did any. What?
No, I was just gonna say there's something like that out there now.
There
You know
it
what
is.
I mean? Yeah. No, that's
Ta-da!
great thinking. I was wondering, like I said earlier in the show when I popped in and popped out and popped in and popped out, that it's really cool to see something like this happening. And it's I give you two thumbs up. I give you two thumbs up, but the other thumb's holding the phone here.
It's all good.
There's the other
It's
one.
all good. Yeah,
Just to let everybody know in the chat, there are links to Christina's channel, to the course is all in the description below this video.
thank you.
You can check that out at any time, or you can also go to my blog page where I've got a link to this video. Like you're already seeing it now, but you can also check out the course. Link is there as well. So
You use
be
my
sure to
link,
check it out.
right? Not the You Dummy link?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a dummy link? I don't know.
Well, you
But,
probably missed it, but I was telling everybody that if you go to the course and you just sign up and not go through the link, like one of my links, I only get 50% of the price that you pay. You Dummy gets the rest of it. So
okay.
if you use my link, then I only pay them 3% to host it. So
Okay.
again, it's not about the money, but it's 5 months of work. It was a lot of work. It's the biggest thing I've ever made in my life, and I'm really proud of it. I worked really, really hard on it, and I just hope people get something out of it, and it helps people. And I don't want anybody to go out there and drown anymore. Like I want people to go out and know what to do, and be prepared and be safe and do the right things so they don't get hurt.
I just want to get back really quick to that time machine. Can
Oh,
you tell us about one of your first experiences that you remember as a canoeist?
My first trip was a 5-day trip. I started at Galleri Lake, and went through to like Rock and Louisa and Whitefish, and it was pretty cool. I didn't do what I'm suggesting in my course, but there's a reason. I learned my lesson, right? I went out and did this big 5-day trip, and I did prepare for it. So, whatever. At the time, that was the best that I could do. But it was amazing. I saw moose. I saw baby moose. No bears. I've never seen a bear in the backcountry. It was an incredible experience. I had a really, really great time, and I fell in love so hard on that trip, and I just wanted to go back again and again and again and again and again. And I was addicted right from the start. So it was good. I can't really remember too many problems. I wore water shoes from Canadian Tire, I was mentioning earlier when you were blipped out, and I think they were $5, and I wore them on the portages because I thought, oh, these would be great for getting in and out of the canoe, right? Because my feet will be wet. Yeah. But they weren't very good for the 3K portage. I think it was from Louisa. There's that 3K. I actually want to redo that route sometime solo, but it's so busy there. I don't like going to places where there's a lot of people when I'm by myself. It scares me. That's my fear of going in the backcountry. It's not really about the bears or the animals. It's the people that, worry me because I'm out there alone. So that's why I go to the remote places. But I had a great time. It was beautiful. I remember I stayed on this campsite on, what's the one right outside of Galleri? I think it's Rock Lake. Oh, it was amazing. And we called it the King. I don't know if I can say the word shit, but King Shit Campsite. And this it was huge, and there was this big cliff, and apparently bears frequented, but I didn't see any. So I was grateful for that. But it was a really, really good experience. And like I said, I did a lot of research. I probably did too much research, trying to figure out how many granola bars I need to eat to do a portage was a little over the top, but that's the kind of person I am. I just want to be prepared and know as much as possible when I go into a situation. So if something happens, I know what to do, right? And again, that's part of me and who I am. Like Brian said, it's me. The course is me. It's just the things that I know and I've learned over the years and why I do things. And I think it's pretty logical. So Sorry, I'm rambling. I'm used to talking by myself.
Oh, it's like, I know.
And you always have guests on your show, and you guys are all drinking. So today, you guys know I'm not a big drinker, but I pulled out a Palm Bay. It was only one in my fridge. I think it's left over from New Year's. And I'm drinking all by myself. Somebody actually commented and said, "You're drinking right now on the show," and I'm like, "It's the thing." I think it says it in your post. There you go. Grab it.
Believe me, you were drinking by yourself.
Oh yeah, you're probably doing shots back there. That's why you couldn't get the camera to work.
The only reason why I still have a smile on my face. Trust me. Well, you know what, everybody.
Are there any other questions you didn't get to ask me?
You know what? The funny part through that whole thing was I was getting the show, but it was like it was kind of broken up, right?
That's the worst.
So, but then it would just when I was I'm catching it, and then the whole screen would drop on me, and I'd have to reboot in and stuff. So, but I think you covered most of the questions. I was going to ask. Let's see here. Obviously, you had a busy winter. We covered that. Who was the course geared towards? We covered that.
Yep.
Why did you feel the course is needed? I know you touched on that. Where is the course available? That's all taken care of. Explain how the course works. What are you hoping people will take away from it? What's the cost? How long will it take to complete? I think everybody in the chat actually did my job for me tonight. So kudos to you guys for really taking care of that and doing a great job. Yeah, you know what, Christina, the show or your course deserved more than this show actually gave it, just because, like I say, these technical issues, and unfortunately is totally beyond my control.
My mom's watching too. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom Scheuermann. How you doing? right from from my old hometown. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So you got anything you'd like to close with? Well, we're almost at 2 hours now, and 2 hours for you and about 25 minutes for me. But
yeah, I didn't.
Anything you'd like to close?
Are there people come and ask questions, or no? We're not going to do that. No. Okay,
you know what? I haven't got any control over that, because right now I'm actually a guest in my own show. Yeah, I can't control anything there. It's like I'm going to be lucky if I could shut the show down if I hit the show ending. You know what? If anybody does have any questions for Christina regarding the course, Christina is really, really good at getting back to you, whether it's through Facebook Messenger or at Camper Christina at Outlook.com. It's on the screen there. You know what? Reach out to Christina, because no one can answer the questions better than she can, because this is her baby, right? And you know what? Something I don't know if anybody touched on, but another great idea. If you know somebody that can use this as a gift, this could make a really good birthday gift.
Oh yeah,
Father's Day gift. You know what I mean? Or birthday present. I've got a son-in-law that I'm going to be introducing into the backcountry, and just so I don't have to try and teach him everything, maybe I'm going to set him up with your course, Christina.
Well, that's what somebody had said in the comments on Thursday. They were like, you know what? I want to take my twin boys out, and they don't know anything. So I want to kind of give them the course so that they learn a little bit before they go out, and that way they kind of know what to do. It's hard going camping in the backcountry. In the courses that I take, they always teach you never to go out with anybody who's not at the same level as you as far as experience goes, which I think is funny. A lot of people say, when you go on your first time, go with someone experienced. But meanwhile, they're saying, don't go out with anybody who doesn't have the same experience as you, because how are they going to help you in a situation, right? Like, it's not like they can rescue you if, the canoe dumps or whatever, because they don't know what to do. So yeah, it's a good, I didn't even think of a gift option. That's pretty clever. Thanks, Dennis.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's what we're all here for right now. But like I say, I think that would make a fantastic gift. Yeah. Maybe even for a gentleman out there who might be wanting to introduce his lady into the backcountry. You know what I mean? Might be a great way, because because the perspective of a woman teaching a course to a woman also might have that connection.
Yeah, let me tell you. Right now, the male enrollment is pretty low.
Really?
I think
Come on, guys.
I think out of the 16 people who have signed up for the course, 2 of them are male.
Mm-hmm.
It's all females, and this is a course for anyone. So, I got the part about the lady bit stuff, whatever I mentioned earlier, but you don't have to. I say right at the beginning, guys, this isn't for you. If you don't want to watch it, just skip. If you want to learn, watch. And Brian even mentioned he learned some things about women stuff that he didn't know. So, it's not there if you have.
You know what? This could be a great family night. Rather than watching television, you could pop on the course and learn as a family, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. By all means, that's great. Well, you know what? We're at the 2-hour mark, Christina. I think we'll call it an evening, and I'm going to go do a couple of hard shots, and I'm going to figure out exactly what was going on. Oh, you know what? I'm really sad because I really, like I said earlier, I wanted to learn so much more about this course, right? Because it helps me to be able to promote it for you and stuff like that. But I do have this thing where I can actually go back and I can watch the video and hear everything that you said. So that's something that's definitely going to happen. I'll be going back and checking things out again. So I got to rewatch my own show like I always do. Yeah.
And you can also just ask me.
This is true too.
And if you're really interested, Dennis, I can give you a 10-day pass and you can check out the course for yourself, and then you can.
I would love that. I would love that. Like I say, I really want to help promote this because I do believe that this is something that was needed and is going to be very beneficial out there. The big safety thing that you were talking about, by all means, is something that we definitely need to work on as far as this whole thing is. We don't want people getting injured or dying or getting hurt in the backcountry. We want to keep people safe. And one way to do that is by knowing what you're doing.
Well, yeah. And you know what happens, right? When that happens to people, they start to close things. So here's an example. I'm from St. Catharines. So in Niagara Falls, they have the gorge, right? And a lot of people go down there and there's tourists and they go down there hiking in flip-flops and they injure themselves. The helicopter has to rescue them. And then they start saying, well, you can't hike down there anymore. So I don't want to see stuff like that happen. I don't want a couple of people who don't know what they're doing to ruin things for everybody else. And, if they can learn so easily, then why not? I put it all there for you. It's right there. It's easy, so easy to learn. So if you want to learn, it's there. Hopefully people want to learn. And, those other people, we're just all going to have to whip them into shape somehow.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. All righty. Okay, so I just logged in and I'm on the hard one here, and I think I could hit the end broadcast button. So we'll close it up. Christina, thanks very much for doing this. You know what? You did a great job. You're a trooper. From the comments I read in the comment section that you did a great job. And,
I'm stalling you a little bit because I'm waiting for my Word to open up because I'm trying to copy and paste the comments so I can read them after, because they disappear once you end the show, right?
No, they will. They are there to be they'll be part of the show again. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you'll be able to access them. I have the settings set up so that they can all be redone. So.
Oh, okay.
Or not redone, reread.
You can see them.
Yeah.
And I like to read them. I'm hoping there's something nice.
Some of the comments I've seen there were great. To everybody in the chat, thank you very much for putting up with my technical ins and outs tonight. Like I said, it's something that's beyond my control here, and I'll tell you, I fought hard to try and be part of this show. And let's hope everything is ironed out for next week. I will keep everybody posted. If anybody has any comments or anything, please do drop me an email at canoehound@gmail.com or contact me through Facebook. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Don't worry about the technical stuff. I'll take care of that. I'll figure that out one way or another. So, with that being said,
perfectly fine again.
Yeah, well, That's why I say I feel horrible that it had to happen on this show.
Well, thank you for having me on, and thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate you coming on the show, and thanks to everyone in the chat. Thanks to everyone for all the amazing support. Like, I literally almost broke down when I saw the 46 shares. Like, I was so overwhelmed. And I know it's not me. It's not people saying we love you. It's people saying we love this idea. We want to help you help these people so that we can all help ourselves, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you know what? You just launched last week. The fact that you had 16 people sign up already is one good thing. And you know what? It's the tip of the iceberg, I promise you.
I hope so.
Yep. Anyways, everybody, we will see you next Tuesday night. Thanks for tuning in tonight to a great episode. And we'll touch base next week.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody. Good night, Christina. Keep the adventures alive, everybody. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Keep the adventures alive.
Yeah, this is going to take me a second to tune out here, too.